Welcome back to Western Water Weekly, a roundup of stories from the Colorado River Basin reported over the past week at western-water.com. Let's dive in. Imagine waking up to learn that a multi-billion-dollar artificial intelligence data center, backed by more than $160 billion in government-supported bonds, was approved before most residents ever saw the details. That is exactly what people in southern New Mexico say happened with Project Jupiter. At a community forum, Representatives Angelica Rubio and Michaela Lara Cadena called the project a transparency failure and a democracy failure that sidelined the public from day one. They raised major concerns. The center will rely on a natural gas-powered microgrid. It plans to draw from a water system already pushed to the limit. The county approved a payment in lieu of taxes of only $360 million over 30 years, far less than many expected. Representative Rubio said New Mexico has a long history of being promised the next big thing, only to be left holding the bag. This time, she argued, the gamble is even bigger, and coming at a moment when the artificial intelligence industry itself is signaling instability. And behind all this is a deeper question. What happens when a community does not get a voice in decisions that could reshape their water future? Meanwhile, Utah lawmakers are going in the opposite direction, transparency first. A new bill would require data centers across the state to report their yearly water use. Any company that does not comply would face a fine of $10,000 per day. Some data centers use more than 5 million gallons per day, while others use a fraction of that. Right now, the picture is blurry. Cities collect some information, but statewide water officials often do not. The proposal aims to change that. It also passed its first committee unanimously, with no opposition. The message from Utah is clear. If data centers want to grow, the public deserves to know how much water they are using, and how their operations affect the state's long-term supply. Colorado took a historic step this week. The Colorado River District, the Colorado Water Conservation Board, and the Public Service Company of Colorado officially filed a water court application to convert the Shoshone water rights into a permanent in-stream flow right. If approved, this becomes the largest environmental water right in the state. These rights originate from a 1902 hydropower right that keeps water flowing in the upper Colorado River, stabilizing flows for fish, farms, recreation, rafting, and hydropower downstream. Support has been enormous. 35 organizations filed in favor. More than 400 members of the public voiced support. Governor Jared Polis praised the move. Western Slope communities say this decision will help secure their long-term water future. Now it heads to water court, where judges will confirm whether this shift preserves historical operations and protects all other water rights. If the court approves it, Colorado will have created one of the strongest long-term tools ever designed to protect flows in the upper basin. Nevada released a draft water pollution permit for the Victory Tungsten Mine near Gabbs. This is a small underground project processing about 10 tons of ore per day, drawing water from the town of Gabbs rather than from local groundwater. It's an example of the heavy oversight that accompanies small projects. Groundwater lies more than 250 feet below the surface, and the permit includes a lined process water pond, a requirement for no discharge, meaning all water must stay on site, quarterly water quality monitoring, stormwater controls, and strict reporting and inspection standards. Tungsten is a strategic mineral with the highest melting point of any metal. It is used in cutting tools, aerospace components, drilling equipment, and high-temperature industrial machinery. That makes Nevada's deposits highly valuable. Public comments are open for 30 days. Now, let's step back from this one mine and look at the bigger picture. While the basin is not seeing a wave of huge new mines demanding massive water rights, Mining activity has not slowed down, and its cumulative effect is becoming harder to ignore. New megamines are rare, but expansions are increasing. California's Western Mesquite Gold Mine is adding an 87-acre heap leach pad, a large expansion that increases both waste volume and water quality risk. In Nevada, a new permit was issued for the County Line Mine, with strict limits on mining below the groundwater table and a requirement for a zero-discharge system. Regulators are shifting focus from water quantity to water protection. Almost no new mining permits grant large new diversions of Colorado River water. Instead, permits emphasize groundwater protection, containment, monitoring, waste management design, and water quality safeguards. This is a sign of heightened environmental scrutiny. Groundwater is now the battleground. Because surface water is fully spoken for and shrinking, nearly every new mining project relies on groundwater. That creates slow, quiet strain. Local aquifers decline faster. Dewatering can lower water tables. Waste or process water can threaten aquifers if containment fails. And groundwater contamination is extremely difficult to fix once it occurs. When it comes to mining expansion, it looks like there is more scrutiny than the data centers popping up in communities in the basin.
The Environmental Protection Agency and the Army Corps of Engineers published their notice in the Federal Register announcing a proposed rule redefining waters of the United States, the term that determines which streams and wetlands receive federal protection. The proposal reacts directly to the Supreme Court's Sackett ruling, which significantly limited federal authority. Major changes include a new, narrower definition of adjacent, a requirement that wetlands have a continuous surface connection to a regulated water, updated definitions for tributaries, removal of interstate wetlands as an independent category, and clearer exclusions for ditches, groundwater, and waste treatment systems. More than 4,000 comments have already been submitted. Public comments can be submitted at the Federal Register website until January 5, 2026.
In Mora County, New Mexico, heavy metals were found in dozens of private wells: antimony, manganese, uranium, and others. A new geologic report links the contamination to fire suppressants dropped during the 2022 Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire. State health officials have urged residents not to drink the water. Now, residents want FEMA's Wildfire Compensation Fund to include well contamination. But FEMA says it must see both injury and direct causation before paying claims. Community leaders argue that requiring individual families to prove injury from heavy metals, which often cause long-term, slow-developing health problems, creates an unfair burden. Wildfires don't always stay in their lane. Sometimes the real trouble starts after the smoke clears. The Bureau of Reclamation sharply reduced releases from Davis Dam beginning November 24. Flows dropped to about 2,300 cubic feet per second. Why? Because early storms reduced water demand, and officials needed to prevent Lake Havasu from dropping too low during these temporary imbalances. If water kept flowing at normal rates, too much would escape the system. And when the entire Colorado River Basin is in long-term drought, every acre-foot counts. The lower flows expose debris, sandbars, and unstable banks. Boaters should use extra caution. The reductions could extend depending on weather and operational needs.
Let's finish with the weekly drought picture. And this week, the story is one of contrast. The November 26 report shows widespread improvement across Arizona, California, Nevada, and parts of New Mexico. Arizona is having one of its wettest early seasons on record since October. The San Francisco Peaks, Mogollon Rim, and High Country are all building early snowpack. California is once again the standout, Lake Shasta and Lake Oroville are at or above their historical averages for late November. Nevada saw welcome relief in the south, thanks to storms that pushed across the Mojave and into Clark County. Even with the storms, the big reservoirs remain critically low. Lake Powell is 29% full, Lake Mead is 32% full, and the entire Colorado River system sits at 37% capacity, down from 42% this time last year. In other words, short-term storms are helping, but the long-term deficit remains enormous. Elsewhere, Colorado saw improvements in the south, but worsening dryness in the north. Utah improved in the south, but lagged in early snowpack statewide. Wyoming remains stable, but below average. New Mexico's north improved, but Elephant Butte is only 5% full. This single number says everything about the challenges ahead. The big picture. The West got the storm it needed, but not yet the river recovery it needs.
For details about these stories, or for freshwater news delivered every day except Sunday, visit western-water.com. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for next week's Western Water Weekly.